This Ansible nugget is about ad hoc commands. And in order to execute ad hoc commands, all you need is the Ansible core version. You don't need to have an execution environment, and a container running Ansible Navigator. Ad hoc commands means that you can send commands to your managed host without having to write a playbook with YAML. So what's required is just Ansible core. So I'm going to check here on Ansible ---- version, and I indeed have Ansible core version 2.14 at the time of this recording. And I'm going to try to demo some modules here. So one of the simplest modules, yet very helpful, is the ping module, which examines and tests connectivity to other managed hosts. So Ansible running on all managed hosts and using -m to specify the module, and I'm using the ping module. And I get here from each managed host, for each ping, I get a pong. So that's true for Ansible 2 and for Ansible 1, success and success. And nothing really changed in those two hosts. So the next question will be, well, how do I know how many modules are available to me just using Ansible core? And the easiest way to find this out is to use the Ansible-doc --list. But if you use this, you can end up with a lot of different modules. And I wanted to be specific and to grab the built-in collections. Later on, you will be introduced to the concept of collections. We have collections for every vendor. We have collection for Amazon AWS. We have a collection of modules for Cisco systems, and so on. We have a collection of modules for Microsoft, and the most basic collection of modules that come in with the Ansible core is the built-in collection modules. And if I run Ansible-doc --list and go for built-in, you will notice that, we've got quite a bit. You can scroll up and down and see, you see the ping module that I just used. There's a shell module, there's a state module, there is a user module, and it tells you what's used for. If you want to manage user accounts, you can use the user module. If you want to interact with web services, you can use the URI module. If you want to interact with or send commands to managed hosts related to packages, you can use the yum module, and so on, RPM, and you can just read through it. Okay, so let's say that what I want is to be able to install the HTTPD package, which is the basically the Apache server. So and I want to get information about that. I don't know how the module works. So I can come here and say, hey, Ansible-doc, right? On DNF, I'm transacting on the DNF module. So basically, I'm trying to find out the documentation on the DNF module, which is part of the built-in collection. And this is going to give you pages of documentation, but I'm most interested in the last section of the documentation, which is the example section. And once that example section is found, I want to be able to display the last 20 lines from there, So I ran this command, and here's the examples section, and 20 lines after that. And I see here, it gives me guidance that if I wanted to manage my remote hosts and install, let's say, an Apache server, then I need to specify the name of the daemon or the service as HTTPD and specify the state as I want to get the latest version of the Apache server. Well, with this guidance, I can come here and use ad hoc commands to get the job done, right? So here I am at the command prompt, and I am running the command Ansible on all of my managed nodes. We're using which module? The DNF module. And what is the command that I'm sending? It's specified with the -a switch. I'm specifying the name as HTTPD. I'm specifying the name as and I made an error here. This should be latest. This should be latest, right? As stated here. So I have a typo. So let me come back here, and I'm going to have to rerun this command and fix it. Latest as such. Okay, and I'm going to run this command. And we're going to come back here and we'll get a very clear answer that, okay, I got success on Ansible 2, success on Ansible 1. Nothing really changed because I had already installed the HTTP daemon. But notice here that the return code is 0. That's always good. Having a return code of 0 means that no errors happened whenever I sent my Ansible ad hoc commands. So the guidance I got from the Ansible doc allowed me to write this Ansible ad hoc command and install the HTTPD daemon. Now, let's say from there, I want to now enable, of course, once you have a service installed, you want to be able to run it. You want to start it, you want to make sure that the service is up and running. So we have a service module, but I don't know how to use it. I don't know what variables, options available under this particular module. So again, I'm going to use the doc command and look for the example section. And it says, hey, if you want to start a particular service, such as HTTPD, you just want to give me the name and specify the state as started. So that's wonderful. And that's exactly what I did here. So I came here and I said, hey, Ansible, all my hosts using the services module. And here are the options I'm specifying: name, HTTPD, state started. And because I had already started the services, it came back and nothing really changed. I got success, right? There's no errors, and it does confirm that the state is started, so nothing really changed, okay? Using ad hoc commands, I was able to install the HTTPD server, which is the Apache server. I was able to make sure that the service is started, okay? And I have a couple other very helpful modules that you can use as ad hoc. The command module to send commands to manage hosts. So here's an example of, Ansible on all my managed hosts using the command module, and I'm sending the command systemctl status sshd. I'm trying to check on the status of the SSH server to see if it's running, right? And I come back here and I see, I made an error here. I forgot to include the E. That's why I ended up with an error message. This is the command without any typographical errors. And it comes back and it says that SSHD service is indeed loaded, is indeed active and running. And actually we have a process ID for it listed here. So, and nothing really needed to be changed, but I got the results of the command. Another important ad hoc command in Ansible is the shell command. The shell command is good when you need commands where you're going to have to use grep or sed or awk or extended grep. If you're going to do that, then the command module is not going to help you. You'll have to use the shell module. And you can see here, I'm using the Ansible again, ad hoc shell module, and I'm trying to confirm if the Ansible account or the Ansible user has been created on my managed hosts. So I am looking at the content of the HCPass WD, which holds all of my user accounts, and I'm gripping the Ansible user, and I come back here with return code 0, no error messages, nothing really changed. But it says, yeah, Ansible 2, we can confirm there is a user called Ansible, and that user has the identification number of 1012. And same for Ansible 1 managed hosts. There is a user named Ansible, and same user identification number 1012. So again, ad hoc commands can be very, very helpful in quickly managing remote hosts without having to write playbooks. And it will come up in your Red Hat Certified Engineer certification. Thank you for tuning in to this Linux Nugget on Ansible Ad Hoc Commands.